All right, what's going on, guys? So we got a little issue. This video is about how the hell my bike went pretty much in flames. Not literally, but as you can see, I got a step down 72 to 12 because it burned out. I have a headlight because it burned out, and my tail light is obviously already in the garbage. Also, the brake light sensor that we just did a long video of installing, that went to shit also. So, big problem. Now I have to pretty much replace everything, meaning the step down, the headlight, thank God I had one, and I fabricate a switch box, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but still in works. Hopefully, if it gets warm enough, I'll be able to install it. So this is 4 inch in length, and uh, two and a half in width. So it's kind of crazy. We recorded, which is good. It's kind of crazy, but it's kind of a harness. So right now, what I have connected is my headlight because it's most important. There's two wires over here, and there's also two inside. There's three switches. So first switch is going to be headlight. Second is going to be probably a tail light, and third is going to be my GPS display. So that's for that. Then, of course, we have other things that we need to do, and all these wires are going to go to my step down. So this is my input. This input is going to go to a battery. But before we do that, we obviously have this harness that I fabricated. So shit, you guys can't even see it. Hold on. So this is to my main power source, to my 72 volts, and these are, so let's say excuse me, this one is going to be a headlight, tail light, tail light. What else we got? Headlight, tail light, GPS, USB connection, and one other thing is going to be a horn. So headlight, tail light, GPS, USB, and what do we say this was? A horn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so pretty much. Unfortunately, I only have a 12-volt battery for right now. This tops out 14.4. So once this step down goes into 72 volts, it will operate and bring it down to 12. So we're gonna practice with the 12. I have another harness, which this one is. So this is my main harness. It's actually marked in red, and this is going to go into my 72 volt input. So this is my headlight. So let's forget about that for now, right? This is gonna go to my 72 volt wire battery, okay, which is gonna come pretty much from a power wire, and that's going to plug in into my harness. Now, I forgot what the hell this is for, to be honest with you. I don't know. Oh, this is don't know for yet, but I know this is my 72 volt meter. As you can see, this is in red, so this is going to go straight into 72 volt meter. So this is done before the step down, and let me see. So this is going to plug in over here again. This is going to go to my battery. This is going to go to my battery. This is going to go to my voltmeter, right? So we have that harness out. And over here, we're gonna have our headlight, this guy, our headlight. We got it right. Yep. Our headlight, right? Now this here, I have a harness for USB. This harness, the way it works is, it is from 12 volts to 5 volts and 3 amps at 15 watts, and you have a USB input, that's 2. So one is going to be for most likely a USB C, and I don't think micro is gonna be connected, but definitely C. C, I can do C and micro. Micro for my alarm if I really want to, and C for my cell phone and my tail light temporarily for now, because we're going to hardwire the tail light later when it comes from China. So this is going to plug in the next socket, right? And now here, so this is going to, this is the headlight. So I was lucky to connect one switch, which is the first switch, to a headlight, because that's the most important thing. So we have headlight, tail light, GPS, and horn. And we already said that this is main battery, and this was my voltmeter. So that's that. So pretty much all these are going to be taken. So let's quickly unplug them. I like the way they are, very tight, very sturdy. That's one. We don't need the, actually, you know what, let's leave that with that, because that's a different clusterfuck, excuse my French. What we're gonna do, we're gonna steal a, I know you can't see it off the line, we're gonna steal the one socket. We're gonna go, just like any electric thing, we're gonna go red, red, black, black, red meaning positive, obviously, black meaning negative, which is your ground. And don't forget your step down, you have ground that you have to connect additional wire from a ground. Okay, so this socket is connected. So if we put this on, the light should operate as a regular switch from a 12 volt. So let's just say that this is connected to a battery. This step down is connected to a battery. 72 volt brings it down to 12 volts, and it operates at 10 amps from 48, 60, 72 to 12 volts, 120 watts. Now, somehow, somewhat, this light is rated at 800. Not sure how that's done, but it worked before with this. It was no problem. I'm gonna tell you a story behind why am I doing all this crazy spaghetti wires. So this, I'm hoping, is gonna go somewhere by my ignition key is going to face towards the forks. This is going to go under the forks, and pretty much what you're going to see is just this thing, and that's about it. So this is our, so this is the first switch, because it's going to walk, it's going to stay in this way. So this is our first switch, second and third, right? So headlight, tail light, and GPS, or headlight, GPS, tail light. But I'm gonna try to go headlight, tail light, GPS. These are waterproof, so you can get water into it, no big deal. Whether the water goes inside the box or not, it's no big deal. This opens up. If I want to open this, it's going to open very nicely, and you can close it. So this is again first, second, third. Okay, so it is actually done from the right. Why did I do it that way? But again, like I said, it's pretty bright. It lights up the whole house. So I guess I hooked it up to this one, which is completely okay. So it's gonna be headlight, tail light, and GPS. So GPS is always gonna go first, tail light second, headlight first. Oh, third. First, second, third. All right. First, tail light or GPS, tail light, headlight. All right, boom. All right. So again, let's undo this. And again, this part is going to go to 72 volt input. Now, as you can see, I've already prepped the headlight is going to be a little bit higher than before. Before I didn't have these brackets, but now I have the brackets, I have the nuts. She's going to stay a little bit higher, and hopefully I don't have to change this a second one, I believe, or third one that I burned. And these are very hard to get. They are very expensive right now. They're very strong. I disconnected, but it's okay. Let's plug it in. I should leave it plugged in. Boom. Pretty bright. Anyhow, so that's that. Brackets, everything is ready. So why am I doing this? Well, it's a long story. I'm going to try to make it very short. A couple of days ago, I was working on a bike. What was I working on? So I've noticed, I'm going to put a picture. I've noticed that my motor wires, which are Hall sensors, yeah, they're Hall sensors. They didn't get chewed up, but the rubber isolation got chewed up like every other bike. And I always made sure that my screws from the disc brakes in the rear are far away from the Hall sensors wires. And I believe what happened was when I was already ready to remove the screws from the disc brakes. Before that, of course, I tried to tighten them, and of course, I stripped them because they were cheap and they left rough edges, and those rough edges ate through the rubber electric isolation on the Hall sensors or the Hall sensor wires. A wire, because again, the wires itself aren't impacted. But here's the thing: when I spin the wheel with no load, she was spinning really really fast, and somehow, somewhat, I saw sparks coming out, and that's when I blew my headlights, my step down, and all that. I honestly think that because the voltmeter was showing me 34 volts on this, it should only show me 12 volts. So I believe my other step down, the new one, also had burned out because of the overvolt. And of course, the Kelly Bluetooth connection on my phone showed me that was overvolt. So the motor was engaged, and then for a couple of seconds was disengaged. And at one point, it was just every time I hit the throttle, I saw the sparks on the wheel, and it was showing me overvolt. So I was able to put a white tape to move away from the disc, and also isolated with the electric tape, and the sparks went away, obviously. But again, Hall sensors are fine. They're not showing any error on the application, so they are not cut in in regards to that. So this is where I'm standing right now. I have to pretty much replace my headlight, my step down, and of course I am willing to rewire the entire bike. So I removed all the connections, and I decided to go with the switch where each individual uh, component has its own switch. Doesn't have any amps. It can operate or whatever, but the switches. But before, when I turned off my switch from a headlight, everything was shutting off, and I wouldn't have a horn or nothing like that. Before, I had it where I would turn off the headlight and I would still be able to use my horn and everything else. So it was completely wired differently. So I'm going back to the same old school connection where everything is individually connected. And hopefully this doesn't give out again. And hopefully I can do something with the Hall sensor wires and see if I can put additional zip tie. I always kept it away from the frame and from the disc. It's just somehow, somewhat it got stripped, which is pissed. However, if I have to take the motor apart near future, maybe at the end of the season, um, then I'll do that. I'll take the motor apart. I will restart everything, reshrink with extra, heat shrink, and make sure that it's nice and steady. Other than that, I'm not really looking into it, but I got to do what I got to do. Motor is a motor. This motor is completely different. It's not a knockoff. It's a QS, so it's a hard to come by, and we don't want to waste any money, regardless. So again, this this spaghetti is gonna sit in my bike, but hopefully, look at this. Hopefully, we're gonna be able to connect everything individually correctly with waterproof connections and call it a day. So that's the story behind it. I do like these switches. I do like the waterproof switches. So why did I do this like this? I don't know, to be honest with you. Maybe I do. Well, honestly, all these, if you look, all these you can unplug them and you can pretty much troubleshoot them individually. So you don't have to go through wires and cut the wires and do all kinds of things. So everything is plug and play. Everything over here is plug and play. So if I need to remove the harness and with the step down, that's not going to be a problem because I can go as far as to my leading 72 volt input and also remove the whole thing in about 2 seconds. So that's not a problem. I have a little bit of spaghetti going with the headlight. Let me unplug this. I have to see why. So why is it like that? How can I eliminate a couple of things? Because this is kind of like embarrassing, but I wasn't sure what the hell to do with the wiring. I mean, I wasn't sure. I was sure, but I also wanted to make some sense where I have enough wire going through. This is just see. This is a little bit longer because what's going to happen is I think most of it is going to be hidden, but I need some wire play. This is like, let me see. Yeah, this is going to go this way. This is this. Don't pay attention to these wires because these wires are excluded. So it's only this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this as one wire, probably with an electric type. And see, so this is in same length, but I need to play with it, but I can pretty much do it this way. So I'll have it organized. It's no big deal, but this is where I'm standing with that. I do have a small. Well, I mean, I could run this guy. It might be a little bit too much, so we'll see how that's gonna go. But we should be okay. Should be okay. So, if you have any comments of this issue here, comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, you can subscribe because obviously always something is happening where we have the entire system burned out. So this is your headlight right here. So that's going to be connected first with the backs, and then we're going to proceed with the step down. And again, we have only 2 wires that are going to go to my battery, which is that to my battery? No, that's the to the sorry, to the voltage meter. This is going to go to a battery, and just to make sure that we got it the right way, because it is marked red. We're gonna go with the red. All right. So this is power battery and just continues. Again, I want to make sure that my voltage meter comes exactly from the battery, so it will always tell me what the voltage is. And I have my alarm set at 65 volts, so 60, I believe 68, sorry. So she's going to activate the alarm. Probably heard it on the video a couple of times. It just beeps and it tells me that the voltage is sagging below 68. So we'll work to organize this, and hopefully we'll be able to install this tomorrow. It's been cold lately, and I actually have my battery in the bike, but I'm not taking it out. I have the wires from the horn, and it's it's simple because the way this is connected, in case you guys haven't noticed. So this is my probably second, third switch. If I was to, so I already have this, right? I don't have a horn, but anyway. So this is your positive, which is going to comes from one switch. This is going to go. This is going to go to one input for the horn, and this is going to be an output from the horn, and that's how it's going to work. So the switch is going to go right in between my positive. So if I was to take positive from here, it will come this way, go out this way, and then negative is going to go to my negative, and we deal with that. This is how this is done. You see, the switch is in between, and then so you have your positive here, right? Yeah, you have your positive here. Then you have your positive. This is my positive, right? As you can see, it's red. That's my positive, which is red. From positive, I have it continues this way. It goes to my positive, and this is my negative. But as you can see, where are you? So this is the headlight. All right, so it is, this is negative goes to negative, and positive goes to positive in between. You got the switch. Anyway, I am tired. It's already midnight. So comment down below what you think. Share, subscribe, and stick around for more footage. And hopefully when we get this installed, I'll shoot another video, and I hope it is not going to spark anything, because we addressed the whole sensor wire, and we'll do a little bit more, put a zip tie around and see if we can help a little bit more. Until then, folks, ride safe.